but I'm gonna do like a little like something like trends to watch with this Storm team, right? And it's like Gabby's been growing her star. We know what Gabby Williams can bring defensively. We all know that. Like she was given the French Army knife nickname for a reason. But like seeing that offensive production, in my opinion, has been big because you hear about some of these players coming in. I know AC, funny, we just talked about her, and Ezzy both talked about in media day, right? And you'll remember this, Rowan, I think, is an obvious question. But they both mentioned they're asking more from me offensively this year, right? And obviously with a Jewel Lloyd gone and at times as Christian mentioned the third quarter spurts, like they just needed more offensive production in different facets. Um, Gabby's been giving you a decent amount of that. And that's not just points like facilitating. You'll see her bring the ball up the court sometimes. Just Gabby Williams thoughts, because again, maybe there are other things that you guys want to mention that we haven't gotten through in the Storm Round Table, but I think with Gabby Stars continuing to shine, and it's really important because again, there was the talk about her not being here this early because she hasn't. I remember being at rain training last year during the summer, and I'm like, oh shit, like Gabby just got signed. I have to put something out. Um, because I mean, once the rumors were that she was coming back to the W, it was like she's coming back to Seattle. Like I don't know where else she's going. So yeah, I mean, she's had great minutes. I mean, well, great minutes. She's had a lot of minutes, and she's had valuable performances in those as well. So that's Gabby Williams discussion. I'm throwing into the foyer here.
I mean, we've known, how huge she was, and I know that I think I mentioned this after the Phoenix game. Um, if you follow her in her off season, that's not her off season at all, you know that she has been able to produce offensively in a way that we've never seen her do in the WNBA. And I think that this season is just showing not that she can't do it, it's just that hasn't been her role. And I think that that is just what makes her such an incredible athlete. It just speaks to her athleticism that I actually asked her about it in a presser one time. She didn't really answer it the way I was asking, but of course, I basically was asking, how do you just switch your brain and how do you continue training in a way that whatever they need from you, you're going to be able to deliver. I mean, it's fascinating. You think about we talked about Madison Connor, who was in training camp, and thinking about how she said she took 500 shots every morning. I don't think that that was every day. I think that might have even been 500 three-pointers. And you think about that, if you're a three-pointer, if you're a specialist from the behind the arc, if you're a specialist in whatever it is, but it's just crazy to me that the Storm has never relied on Gabby Williams to be to be a leading scorer, to be their three-point shooter, and yet then she comes in, that's what her role is, and she is delivering so well. It's just fascinating to me, and it yeah, just speaks to her athleticism, and just shows how I think underrated she is as just as a player in general. I think because we haven't seen that much offensive production from her in the WNBA, huge games, she averaged 10.3 points last season, which is, good averaging in double figures, but with a Jewel Lloyd, with a, Skylar Diggins, with a Nneka Ogwumike, and an Ezi Magbegor as well, she was not really often, in the even top two leading scorers. So I think that can't say enough about how not only helpful that three-point shooting ability and just her offensive production has been for the Storm this season, but just in the grand scheme of things as a professional athlete being able to come in and do what they need you to do and do it so well is just it's just really incredible to watch.
This is random, but I will say this. There's two fan bases fighting in my mentions for the services of Lee Euro. And I just want to let y'all know
Yes,
she's taken. She's in the Pacific Northwest, like Big
we're
Fan
good,
be saying.
guys. She's
Yeah,
good.
no, no, you're good. Sorry. No. Um, but it's only been 5 minutes as far as the time for the sample size. But anybody want to take a guess what Seattle's offensive rating is in those minutes without Gabby on the floor?
Ooh, I'm scared, Christian.
Me too.
80. Yeah. No, it's not good. But yeah, again, very small sample size, but it just goes to show her importance this year, in ways that I don't think people would have thought, especially on the offensive end. Again, not saying that she can't do that, but that's never really been her job. She's always been, we said the French Army knife. Yeah, make sure I don't get that wrong. She gets it wrong, so occasionally it's kind of funny sometimes. Um, you guys remember last year when she corrected herself in French? When she said Swiss Army knife, I think she was sitting there with Essie or
I
NECA.
do remember that. And she was
Yeah,
like, sorry,
yeah,
French.
yeah. And I was like, okay, that's funny. But yeah, she's been great this year. Everything. The reason why I think the 3-pointers and the percentages probably will continue because she's taking everything in the flow of the offense. I mean, a lot of these are catch and shoots. Some of them are step back. So I'm like, okay. She went back to Turkey and got a step back three like she got, like she got here like sniping like she Ali Quigley. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Um, just the production in general from Gabby has been everything that you would think that you would get from her. But yeah, the offensive end has just been otherworldly. I mean, her first step has always been one of the quickest in the league, but this year she just getting to the rim at will. And that, to be honest, it's not even really her main bread and butter as far as offense. But so far, I mean, if you're gonna give it to her, she's gonna take it. I mean, she's 5'11" and she's solid. Like you've seen her run people over, and she did it a couple times yesterday. And she caught Jessica Shepard off guard. I'm like, yeah, she's not small. You run it, you stand there, you better be ready to take it. But yeah, Gabby's been great. She's been everything that they've needed, especially like not really going to free agency to try to replace Jewel Lloyd production, and you see what they've got right now. You got Erica Wheeler out there doing her thing. You've got Gabby doing her thing. And then you got the bigs on the bench coming in and doing really well. You got Don playing. It's really just been by a committee approach, and Gabby kind of being the spearhead of that. That's kind of the do-it-all type player on the roster. She's quietly having an all-star type year, to be honest with you. Like there's a lot of other players out there that are all-stars that are not playing like all-stars right now. And Seattle has 3 of them. I mean, as he gets it together, who knows? It could be 4. I mean, it really could be 4. I mean, as is great on the defensive end, but on the offensive end this year, like it just hasn't really been there. And like I understand, like players being tired, and she did have a long season with Praha. But I mean, Gabby had a long year too. I mean, she had the Olympics too, and she's playing pretty well. So maybe there's a different type of adjustment period for different players. But if this is still happening around game 10, game 15, I mean, I think she might be at the head. See what Dom can give you. I mean, at this point, no one is above the team. So if someone's producing better, I mean, that has to be a conversation at some point. Don't want that to happen. I love the Ezzy production. I love what she does next to NECA. But at some point, kind of with the whole Alicia Clark situation, you have to do what's best for, just continuing down the road during the season because it's just getting started. And like I said, there are a couple of things like that. Just on the offensive end production is one of the things I think we've all can say that it's kind of concerning a little bit.
All right.
Hey, Charles.
Hey, Jen.
Hey, were you going to watch the Seattle Storm away games this year?
Away games. Well, Rough and Tumble is the home of Circling Seattle Sports. So I was thinking of coming here if that's okay with you.
I think that makes a lot of sense. See you all here.